You know, whistle is often, when you hear someone whistling, you often think about birds, of course. And as I said before, this was maybe our most ancient way of singing, because even Charles Darwin, in his Evolution of the Species, says that human language maybe comes from hearing the birds and the primates for the rhythm. So, and many linguistics, also from the MIT, did many studies about it. So maybe the human beings first heard the birds. And so now we will continue performing a song that talks about a bird, but not really about a bird, because it really talks about racism and freedom, because it was written by Paul McCartney and John Lennon for Sarah Parks. You might know the lady, the American African who didn't stand up, sitting in the bus where she couldn't because it was only for whites. And so mostly Paul McCartney wrote it, and it's Blackbird. Mats Hedberg. Thank you. And now we continue with another bird, a green bird, a little green bird from Venezuela. You know, it's an oropo. Oropo is a waltz. In Venezuela, they have this rhythm that is 3/4, and it arrives from European rhythm, the waltz, and from the rhythm that the Jesuits that arrived in South America with all the instruments and European music, of course, brought there. But then it changes a little bit. The andamento, the rhythm is a little bit different because it mixed with the local culture. So this is the little green bird, il pajarillo verde. The little green bird. You have heard it just flying around. And now, of course, as we are at the Casa Italiana, and we're performing a song of it's the only composer who really wrote for whistle. And that's, of course, Ennio Morricone. And this tune was not composed really for whistle because he did the Western ones, but it was for Once Upon a Time in the West. So here we are. Well, Morricone maybe wrote one of the most beautiful songs and the melodies in the world. And now we continue to stay in America, in Central America. We're not continuing after Morricone, but of course his whistle, the whistle in Morricone, it's really a South American whistle because he took the flute, the Andean flute, and he reproduced it in this incredible way with the whistle. But whistling, it's considered rude normally, and women were forbidden to whistle. And but since few years ago, if there was a girl, maybe a little child whistling, especially if it was a little girl, her mother usually said, "Oh, don't whistle, it's rude." And there were lots of sayings about women whistling, like a whistling woman and a crawling hen is neither good for God nor men. This was a normal saying. And in Italian, there was one that said, fischio di donna e in viso la Madonna. So terrible for women. But there are so many things that women cannot do until also now in the world, but used not to do not so much. And one of these is composing music. There are very few women who compose music, because once upon a time women used to just write the music, transcript things, because, and there are some of course, but not so many. And so now we'd like to perform a tune of a woman, very famous in Cuba. That's a Cuban song that you might know from Buena Vista Social Club. There was this fantastic Ibrahim Ferrer who sang it. And her name is Isolina Carrillo. And she's very famous and a star in Cuba. And the tune is Dos Gardenias. Mats Hedberg. You know, Mats is a composer, and he honors me to come with me and play with me. But it's very difficult to go from Bach to Morricone and then to South America. So usually guitarists, they do one thing and that's it, or jazz or improvisation. So Mats. All the songs we're performing are from our CDs, and also we made an LP and we brought them over there. So if one just wants to remember it, they're over there. And now we continue just to Brazil. Yes, just a tune that I love so much because it's a choro from Brazil. Maybe the most famous of all. It's written by Pixinguinha in the 40s. And Pixinguinha is so well known in Brazil that his birthday is the day of the choro in Brazil. And this is his most famous one, and you will see it's so delicate and so particular, and the name is Carinhoso.
What does it mean?
Means a sweet, nice, a little nice thing. Carinhoso, sweet. Carinhoso. And now in this journey, because we're really doing a journey, and hear how whistle can interpret these different things, and now Mats is using a particular instrument. You will see it's very light. It's a magnet. It's a magnet that makes this noise that's similar to a violin. Here it is. And with this particular magnet, we're going back to Italy, and we're going to perform the most famous tarantella of all in our very particular version. That's the tarantella napoletana. La tarantella napoletana. Thank you so much. And a little, also another tune from Naples. We're making Te voglio bene assai. Now I just rest a little bit because you might think how I whistle so long. I whistle because for such a long period because I whistle out and in, so I breathe while I whistle. I can do it in both directions. Some things is very good, for example, breathing in, like the vibratos, and of course going out is stronger. But as the trumpets, when you compose for trumpets, you cannot have too long phrases because it's a problem of muscles. The trumpets use a lot the mouth, and because to have the vibration to make the trumpet play. Then that's the same for whistle. So now for just a minute, I will leave you with Mats Hedberg with his composition that's called
Blut.
Blut. That is?
It's a sacrifice that the Vikings did for the gods.
Okay, it's a Viking sacrifice. We hope we will survive it. Mats comes from Sweden, and although I make him play all this Venezuela or Italian or other kind of music, he really comes from Sweden, and so now we thought to bring you a little tune from Sweden because it's so nice, but I cannot pronounce the name, so I will let Mats in a moment. He has to tune the guitar. But what's the name of that's very?
The tune is called Gärdebylåten.
That means?
Gärdeby is a very small place in the north of Sweden. And låt means song. So it's a song from this small village.
Okay, let's go with. the song of the little village. And now again, a very wonderful melody of Ennio Morricone. You know, Ennio Morricone wrote this for a mission for this wonderful movie who got the Oscar, and because Morricone wrote for whistle, just only in the cowboys movies. And so you remember how was the one? I don't remember it very well because I never whistled the Morricone one for whistles, but this one really, because it doesn't have a melody, and I love melodies, because when I whistle, I hope you forget that I'm whistling or doing something else. You just hear the music and the interpretation, and just as our second voice. So this tune is written for oboe, and it's Gabriel's oboe. And now we finish with Tico Tico. we do another song, very famous in Italy, as we are at the Casa Italiana. The name is almost the same because the second name of this song is Te voglio bene assai, but it's not the one we performed before. It has another name given by Lucio Dalla, and it is Caruso. Thank you. Thank you, Stefano.